Let's talk about one of the toughest decisions any family ever has to make. But we're not going to focus on the money or the logistics. No, this is about the personal, hard truths of what happens after that decision is made, from the perspective of someone who lived it and came to regret it.
Wow, that one hits hard, right? This all starts with someone who, was encouraged by their family. Promises of great care, comfort, a better life. It seemed like the right thing to do. But the reality they found? Well, it was a world away from what they'd imagined.
So, the first batch of regrets, they aren't about the size of the room or the quality of the food. Nope, they're about something much, much deeper. They're about the internal costs, that slow, quiet wearing away of the things that make you, well, you. The very first shock, the biggest one, wasn't the small room or the new faces. It was this sudden, almost jarring realization that your life is no longer your own. That basic control you have over your day, your choices, your time, it's just handed over to a system. And you can really see the massive shift right here. On one side, you've got a life filled with personal freedom, waking up when you feel like it, relaxing in your favorite chair. But on the other side, life is run by a schedule. Breakfast is at 8 a.m., whether you're hungry or not. All those little freedoms you never even think about, suddenly they're just gone. And that loss of control leads to another loss, one that's a little more subtle. When all your daily chores are taken away, no more cooking, no more tidying up, it might actually sound like a relief at first. But for so many people, those little jobs give life structure. They give it meaning. Without them, the days just start to feel incredibly long, empty, purposeless. And this is where you see the real human cost. We hear the story about George, a guy who spent his whole life as a carpenter, building things, working with his hands. In the nursing home, with no projects, no tools, those skilled hands just sat there, idle. And that simple, powerful statement, "I feel useless," it just perfectly captures how a loss of purpose can completely hollow you out. Okay, this next one. This is something a lot of folks just don't think about until it's too late. At home, privacy is a given, right? You close your door, you can be alone with your thoughts. In a place like this, privacy suddenly becomes a luxury, not a right you can count on. Your dignity doesn't just disappear all at once. It gets chipped away piece by piece. Staff might knock, but they don't always wait for you to answer. You might need help with things that are deeply personal. You slowly start to feel less like a person and more like a patient, just another name on a chart for the day. All right, so we've talked about the internal costs, the things you feel on the inside. Now let's shift gears and look at the external consequences, the things that affect your body and your connection to the outside world. And honestly, some of these are really surprising. This is one of the most painful things to read about. You know that old saying, out of sight, out of mind? Well, it can become devastatingly true. Once you move into a care facility, the world outside keeps spinning. Life gets busy for your friends and family, and over time, that connection can really start to fade. And the pattern is just heartbreakingly predictable. At first, you get tons of visits, but soon those visits turn into phone calls. And then, as life just gets in the way for everyone else, you might find yourself spending holidays alone. It's not that your family stopped loving you, it's just that you're not part of their day-to-day world anymore. Okay, here's that paradox I mentioned. A nursing home is supposed to be a safe place. A place that supports your health. But what this person saw was shocking. The more that was done for them, the weaker they actually became. The very convenience that was meant to help was actually speeding up their physical decline. You can see this rapid slide in the story of a neighbor named Alice. She came in totally independent, active, but as she sat more and moved less, she started needing a walker and then a wheelchair. It's a classic case of if you don't use it, you lose it. And Alice's own words really sum it all up. This physical decline isn't this slow, gradual thing. It can feel incredibly fast, almost like you're aging in fast forward. The very place that was supposed to preserve her health ended up accelerating the aging process. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial warning of all. It's about this common and frankly dangerous idea that moving into a nursing home is just a trial run, a decision you can easily undo if you don't like it. And here it is. This is the trap. So many people move in with the thought, hey, I'll just give it a try. They see it as a temporary thing. But what they don't realize is that once you're inside the system, a whole new set of walls goes up that makes leaving incredibly difficult. Just think about it. The house might have been sold,
Your family, who now thinks of you as being safe, might be really hesitant to let you move back. And like we just talked about, your own physical strength and your confidence have probably taken a huge hit. That door you walked through so easily, now it's incredibly hard to walk back out of.
And that is the final, stark truth from this whole account. The decision, for most people, becomes permanent, not because there's a lock on the door, but because a dozen small changes all add up and make going back to your old life pretty much impossible.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's a powerful plea to just recognize how valuable the life you have right now is. Those simple routines, those small choices, your independence, those are the things worth fighting to hold on to for as long as you possibly can.
So, I'll leave you with the same question this person left for all of us. It's a challenge, really, to think deeply and to be honest with yourself. Is this choice really what's best in the long run, or is it just what seems like the easiest fix for right now? That's a huge question for a truly life-altering decision.